Hey, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And good morning to you. And how are you this morning? This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. Today is Wednesday, the 28th. Today is what the work world would call hump day. Hump day. 2 more days to just be able to sit home and just rest. Hump day. Today is the day, Lord. Today is the day that you have given to me, and I will rejoice and I will be so happy in it. And I thank you for another beautiful day. The days start out so nice and calm and so cool here in Florida. About 10 o'clock, it be on and popping. It be on and popping by 10 o'clock here. Since there's no one here yet, no one's watching, no one stopped in to say good morning. I'm just going to do a tad bit more reading. And when I look up, maybe there's one or two people here. But this today is May the 28th. 2025, and the time is 7:02 in the morning. And school is out in some areas of the country. School is already out, so grandparents, parents, aunties, cousins still might be asleep. However, that's not going to stop me from being up at 7 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, preparing myself just for today. Just for today. Today is a beautiful day. Today is going to be the day that you're going to receive that good news. Today is going to be the day that prayer that you have been praying for, what you've been waiting for. Today just could be that day. So don't give up. Don't give in. Get tired. Get tired. You could get tired, but don't give up. Don't give up and don't give out. You just got a little bit longer. The finish line is so close. It is so near. So don't give up. Keep on running, keep on waiting, keep on praying, keep on meditating, keep on fasting, keep on reading, and keep on listening to God's word. Because, and look to the hills from which forth your help come. Look to the hills from where your help is coming from. So I'm going to wait for about like 3 more minutes, and prayerfully someone would be on here. And if not, we'll keep talking for about 30 minutes. So I'm going to read, excuse me, and I am going to, yeah, I'm going to read and I'm going to wait. I'm going to read and I'm going to wait. Yes, yes, and I'm going to talk about whatever it is. I just wanted to talk about waiting and gratitude and understanding while you wait. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. Somebody, anybody, come on in my room. Come on in my room. Jesus is my doctor. He writes out all of my scriptures. He gives me all of my medicine in my room. I said, come on in my room. Come on in my room. Jesus is my doctor. He writes out all of my scripture. He gives me all of my medicine in my room. I said, come on in my room. Come on in my room. Jesus is my doctor. Ah, he gives me all of my medicine. He fills me up in my room. Come on in the room, Lord. Come on in the room. Jesus is my doctor, and he writes out all my scriptures. He gives me all of my medicine when I go in my room. You know what I don't understand, and you know what, I'm gonna say this because I can't get nowhere. You know what? It I know I'm not everybody cup of tea, cup of coffee, whatever it is that you drink in the morning. I know I am not that person for everybody. However, when you come over here in the mornings, I am not going to be talking about bull crap. I'm not going to be talking about crazy stuff that adds absolutely nothing to your life. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about nobody else's business. I don't care about anybody else's business. I'm going to stay in my lane and talk about the things that I know how to talk about. So when you come on here in the morning, I'm gonna be either be singing, or I'm gonna be praising, or I'm gonna be doing some uplifting and some edifying of the Lord. So it's not going to be talking about who's suing who and who pockets the longest, not who's selling the most body scrubs, who perfume smell the best. It's not going to be any of that. There's other channels that's speaking on that kind of garbage. So if you want to unsubscribe, be my guest and unsubscribe, because this is not the channel for you. And if you want to hear all that going back to women or somebody going backwards and forward with each other, this is not the channel for you to be on. This is not the channel for you to be on. So, whoever watched this and who will watch this, if this is not the channel for you, please unsubscribe. Please, I want you to unsubscribe from this channel. I want you to unsubscribe from this channel because nobody business, everybody business ain't doing nothing for me. God said, well, there are two or three in the mix, I'm going on. And I'm going on and I'm going on and I'm going on and I'm going on. I don't care if it ain't nobody but me looking at the screen talking to myself. I'm still going to go on and do what it is that I do in the morning. So when you come on and then you blank out because I'm not talking about what you want to hear, please, if you're a subscriber, unsubscribe from this channel, because I'm going to talk about what I want to talk about. And if I'm talking about it and nobody's here, I'm going to talk to myself about it. But anyway, good morning and how you doing? So, today is, as I said, today is May the 28th. We got 3 more days in this month. And then, it'll be June and we're had like 6 months before Christmas. And just see how fast Christmas creeps up on us. See how fast Christmas creep up on us. Good morning, Shirley. Good morning, AKA, and good morning to whoever else is watching. Thank you for being here this morning. Sometimes you just have to clean house, just do a little dusting and stuff like that. So this morning, y'all, I want to talk about patiently waiting on God. Patiently waiting on God. There's some things that you pray for sometimes. And I'm going to tell you why I want to talk about patiently waiting on God. Yesterday, last year, my daughter, they're starting this program at the Fort Myers Tech place where the school where my daughter graduated, getting her LPN. Last year they started a new program. And she figured because she graduated from the LPM program at Levotech that she would automatically get in to the program, right? But she didn't. But she did. She didn't get into the program. So, she it was a bummer. It was, when you're not you like applying for a job and you didn't get the job and they email you or give you a call and say they go in a different direction and stuff like that. It's a bummer not getting accepted. It really is a bummer not getting accepted to a job, or getting promoted to a position that that you can do. And it's just a bummer, and it do something to your psyche, and it makes you feel some type of way. You lose a little bit of confidence in yourself. You lose a little bit, just a tad bit of confidence in yourself. So yesterday, while I was on, when I was going like, good morning, Sarge in charge. Good morning, and thank you for being here. You're someone new, and I thank you, and I appreciate you for being here. Shirley, good morning. Thank you, and AKA as always, I thank you so very much. I thank each and every person for being here. So please hit the like, share, and subscribe button if you have not subscribed. Okay, back to the story. So yesterday she texts me. I get a text, and I didn't read the text because I saw it was from her, and it looked like she was saying, please pray for me or something. I didn't see the full text when it came on, because normally when she's not having a good morning, she would say, good morning, Ma, please pray for me. I'm feeling this way about whatever is going on. So I said, okay. So I look at it later. So when I got off, I went and I clicked on the message, right? So she showed me. She said, showed me the letter. Congratulations. That it, oh, she. Okay, let me slow down. She applied at this college. She didn't think she applied at the Votech. Didn't know. Okay, this is the second time applying. Well, I'm just gonna apply again, and just leave it to God this time. So I said, okay. I said that would be the best thing to do. I said, but let me tell you something. Don't ever get discouraged when you're turned down. I know when you apply for something and you get turned down, don't be discouraged. I say feel whatever you're gonna feel, but don't be discouraged. And I used to tell my children when they were growing up, it's not always good to come first in everything. Be first in everything, because being first carries a heavy crown that carries a lot of weight, because now everybody's out to beat you. Everybody's out to overtake you. So I remember when she was in ROTC, and she came home and she asked me a question. She said, "Mom, would you rather be a great leader or a great follower?" So then I thought about it. I said I would rather be a great follower. I said, because in order to be a great leader, you have to know how to follow the leader. And following the leader, that means you're going to watch the leader. You're going to watch when the leader make mistakes. You're going to watch when the leader overcome mistakes, and you're going to watch how the leader leads. So when it's time for you to step into that position of leadership, you know what to do, you know what not to do, and you know how not to panic. So first you got to be a good follower, and then you become a good leader. Everybody, there are special people that's very good leaders, and everyone is not born to lead. There's got to be some Indians. Everybody cannot be a chief, because if everybody was a chief, then nobody would know which direction they were going, because everybody want to be the boss. That's why they got managers, they got supervisors, and they have owners of companies. We have some managers don't know nothing, don't know how to manage people, don't know how to lead people to work, don't know how to lead people to the bathroom. So I would rather be a good follower, and before I want to be a good leader. So she didn't get accepted last year. She didn't get accepted. The first graduation class is in July, is in July. So she showed me the congratulation letter that they had sent, and what all she got to go through and stuff like that. Excuse me. So yesterday when she got off work, we were talking about it. Nothing pretty much didn't, I was just, I'm gonna go back and answer your question, aka about what had happened. So by her getting accepted this time, this was the time. And most of the time, some of the time, and even all of the time, when God has something for us, and it's something that we want to do, and we pray to God for it, right? We pray about it. And she said, Ma, she said, I prayed about it this time and I just left it alone. I gave it to God. I prayed about it, and I didn't worry about it. I didn't too much think about it. But every time I said my prayers, I always said, Lord, I really would like to be a part of this program. Not praying, just say that prayer. I just keep it out there. And sometimes we have to keep praying and asking God for the same thing over and over and over. It is not that God don't hear us. God just wanna know if this is what you really want. Because see, God will give us what we want sometime, and everything God give us is not truly not the things that we need. God know what you want, God know what you need. And when you need, your needs should always supersede your wants. It should always supersede your wants. So she said, if I get accepted, the last time she said, Lord, she said, Ma, if I get accepted, she said, I'll be going to school. And by the time I graduate, Jordan be finished with her junior year, her freshman year. She wanted to graduate the same time Jordan graduated when she was in high school, but that was not to be. And see, God can see things years, centuries, you know, before he could see he could see the God know what going on tomorrow. But we still stuck right here in today. We don't even know what's really going to happen in today. We know the things that we got to do. We know the things that we need to do for today. See, God looking past the day. He done already fixed what's going to happen for us today. God is way ahead of us. That's why he is God. He said, for I know the thoughts. And your ways are not my ways. Your thoughts are not my thoughts. We can't even comprehend if God just gave us the tip of a if God just gave us a tip on this ink pen of his knowledge, it would drive most of us, some of us, maybe all of us crazy. We'll be walking around here crazy if we had all that knowledge that God had. If we had that much knowledge. And she said, well, I didn't get it. So she was down. She said, well, Mom, I didn't get it. And well, God knows best. And we say things like that, but still we brokenhearted, and we lose a little bit of confidence in ourselves. And then we even question God about it. And it did feel bad. We feel bad. And so I said, don't feel bad about it, because God is keeping, God didn't tell you no. God said, not yet. And if this is something that you really want to do, you will be doing it. Right now, don't jump in front of God. If you didn't get it at that school, you're not going to get it at no other school, because God don't want you going to no other school but to this school here, where you got your LPN, like where you went to school to be an LPN. Because this is the best school. You go to those other schools, you got to pay a ton of money. But if you go to this school, you're not, if you get fined, you're not eligible for financial aid, or might not get the financial aid. But then at this school, you know the work ethics of the instructors. You know that you really gonna get it. So worry about it. Don't fret about it. God didn't tell you no. He just said not yet. Okay, not yet mean, your daughter's a senior in high school. You got to pay for this, you got to pay for this, you got to pay for that, you got to pay for this over here, and then you got to pay for that, then you got to do this and you got to do that. And so you got to you try to pile so much up on your plate that you're not going to be able. Then you got to work. Then you're going to school at the same time you're working. Then your daughter gonna need stuff. You gonna need stuff, and then you're trying to take care of everybody else. So you know what? You're just trying to pile all this stuff on your plate, and you can't do that. You're gonna drive yourself crazy. You're gonna burn yourself out. Something is not gonna get done, and then you're not gonna drop Jordan. So you're gonna have to be easy, chill out. And when it's time for you to go to school, then it's gonna be your time. And then it was her time. When she got the letter, they didn't send the letter Memorial Day. They waited till like 8 o'clock yesterday morning. And they waited 12:01. They waited yesterday morning to send the letter. They waited to send the letter. So when she said she had told some of her coworkers, what she told her supervisor about what was going on, and everybody thought she was, waiting for an answer for another job. They thought that she was leaving the job. And why are you leaving? Did you get the job? And la la la. And she says, not about getting another job. She says, I just want to be in the RN program. I want to be in RN. I'm doing RN work without getting RN pay. So she said, now I just want to go while my daughter is in school. I just want to go to school so I can be able to help my daughter and to help myself and to help my mom and stuff like that. So then I'm saying, you don't worry about me because God gonna take care of me. But whatever you want to do, I'm not, if I feel like whenever I need some help, I know that I can call on you, but I am not your responsibility. You and your daughter, those are your main responsibilities. I really miss being a registered nurse. And if she doing the work of one, she deserves to be paid like one. And you know what, AKA she not complain about it, but she talk about it all the time. Because a lot of where she work at, a lot of the RNs, they come to her when they can't do something, they come to her. And then she said, well, Mom, I'm doing RN work, but I'm not getting RN pay. I said, well, stop doing RN work since you're not getting RN pay. That's not your job criteria. You are LPN. So you do what it is that you supposed to do. They get paid for it. Let them learn how to do what it is that they supposed to do. Let them do what they supposed to do. You can't afford to stress yourself out over things you can't control. My mama used to always tell me, and that's what I tell her. And that's what I was telling her. You're trying to do too much. You're trying to pile too much up on your plate, and you're not equipped to do all of that. You're not equipped to do all of that. So when she showed me the letter, she showed me the letter and everything, and she when she got off work and we were talking about it, and she said, "Well, Mom, I didn't." She said Friday when I had said I was going to work late. Sometimes I don't be listening, y'all. She be telling me stuff and I don't be listening. I don't really be paying attention to what she be saying sometimes. But I know she had told me she had an interview. No, she didn't tell me. She said, I got to go to work. I'm going to work late. And I said, well, why are you going to work late? And she said something, but she didn't tell me about why she was going to work late. She didn't tell me why she was going to work late. So she said, I didn't want to tell you and nothing happened. She said, but I did. I went on the interview. And when I went on the interview, I had to write an essay. And she said, I wrote the essay. She said, but this time it was different. I just sat there and I just wrote the essay. And after that, I just got up, left and went to work. And I just prayed all was well. And so she said, everybody was in so much suspense. And they kept asking me, V, have you checked your email yet? Have you checked your email yet? And she was saying, no, I have not checked my email. So she said, well, let me go and check my email because y'all want to know more than I want to know. So she went and checked the email and I know how emotional she gets. So I know the first thing she did was I got it, and then start crying, so I know how she was. And so when she told me, I said, and I said, you know what? Look at God. Look at God. I say, God timing is always, always on time. God timing is always on time. So I said, now you can you can breathe. You're taking Jordan to school. Jordan is going to be in school. You start this program in June. You graduate in July, and you graduate in July, then that Jordan first year will be over. Jordan freshman year at college, it would be over. And I said, you won't be stressing as much as you would have been if you got this job. If you had a went to school, your child is in school, and you still got to work to take care of the both of you. And then you want your own, you want to get a plate, you want your own place. So now look how God worked things out. And I said all of that to say this: whatever you have been praying and asking God for, right now you're living in some of the prayers that you have asked God, that you prayed to God for. I know I am. And when I saw that, when I heard a pastor say, you are living in the prayer that you prayed, then I thought about it. And I said, you know what? That is so true. That is so true. And so, when God is telling us to wait, He's not saying no. He's just saying wait. And He could be either preparing that place for us, or preparing us for that place. And I like to think, when I'm in a holding pattern, and when it seems like God is not answering, that means God is up to something, that God is preparing the way. God is the way. God is the way. He's not a way. He is the way. He is the way. So if He's the way, and He's preparing that way for you, there's going to be some waiting moments. There are going to be some moments when you're not going to even hear from God, because God is doing what God do. And God hear every time you pray. God hear every time you get discouraged. God sees that. Every time you feel discouraged, God understands that. And even when you shed a tear, God, that does something to God. That moves God. Not move to make Him do it faster, but that moves God to let God know that, Lord, I'm getting a little weary. I don't want to give up. I'm gonna keep on going. I'm gonna keep on holding on and holding on, because I know if I give up today, my blessing could be I could be blessed today with whatever I done prayed to God for, and then forgot all about what I done prayed to God for. Today could be that day that I forget that, for to get that blessing that I don't even forgot about. I prayed for. I prayed to have my own place, because my mama house was getting crowded. My mama house was getting crowded. My son, with him and his girl, they ain't doing good. Here he come. My other son, when he get tired of being out there in the street, here he come. So it was time. It was time for me to go. It was time for me to go. I said this for like 2 years straight. Lord, I need my own place. Lord, I want my own place. Lord, I just want to be in my own place. So if I want to walk around my house naked, if I put something in the refrigerator, I ain't got to worry about nobody else bothering with it. I just want my own place. And then, you know what? I stopped. I just stopped. I just stopped. I just stopped saying I want my own place. I need my own place. And then I had heard, I don't know if it was Bishop Bonner, or if I was listening to one of Gilbert Pastor Patterson. I don't know who it was that I heard say, when you want something, it said, if you want a house and you're living in an apartment, take care of that house, take care of that apartment like you would take care of your house. So what I started doing, I started not only I always did it, but I always made sure that my mom house was clean. When you walk in, it smelled clean. That the house was always clean and inviting and welcoming and as peaceful as it possibly can. And I started doing things in the house like the house was mine. And so, and it said, if you take care of where you are now, God will get you, God will take you where it is that you want to be. So, and I started, taking care of that house like that house was mine. And after, I think maybe after 2 years by me doing that and me saying I want my own place, I want my own place, I want my own place. I used to say that every single day. I used to say that every single day. I used to say I want my own place. Lord, I want my own place. Oh God, I want my own place. So then one day, all out the blue, a lady that used to go over her house and play cards and have lunch and have drinks and stuff. She said, "You still want your own place?" I said, "Yeah." Then she said, "Well, here, call this girl, this girl, and talk to her." So I called and she said, "Miss Marita, you wanna get you an apartment?" I said, "Yeah, girl." I said, "Yes." Then she said, "Okay, if you could come to my office tomorrow and fill out the papers and we could talk about it." And then she said, "Oh, by the way, it's in Cape Coral. Does that make a difference?" I said, "Oh my God, I never wanted to live in Cape Coral." I said, "Girl, that don't make me no difference." I said, "I move to Cape Coral. If the apartment in Cape Coral, I will move to Cape Coral." And so, and I went in her office and I was telling her, I done been to prison, I done been to jail. I don't know if that's gonna stop me from, getting the apartment. And now by this time, we were in the pandemic when we were in the pandemic and we were no, we were coming out of the pandemic. So coming out of the pandemic, and then we had this massive hurricane here. So a lot of things get tore up. So that postponed it for a little minute. So then I come, she said, "Well, Miss Rita, I want you to go to Cape Coral and go to this office and sign this paper." So I ain't signing nothing. I don't know what I'm signing. So, me and the lady who was gonna manage the apartment, she and I were talking. I said, "Well, it has on there, have you ever been convicted?" And and I'm not gonna lie about it because they'll figure it out, they'll find it out. So I said, this has been like almost about 30, 25, 30, 30 some years ago. Could be close to 40 for all I know, because I don't remember way back there. So then she said, "Miss Gray, really that don't even make a difference, because these apartments are for 55 and older. So whatever you done did when you was 20, 30 years old, don't worry about it." So then I'm gonna tell you what happened then. When I put in the application for the apartment, 3 days later called me that I had the apartment. Okay, suppose I had to move in the apartments in April. Something came up in April. Supposed to move in the apartments in May. Something happened in May. And then supposed to move in June. Something happened with the apartments in June. Then June, July. Then every month, it was a month that was supposed to move in. Something always happened. So here comes September. Then we have this. Now we had Eon, we had Emma, whatever her name was, and then we had Aaron, whatever Eon or whatever his name was, to come stop from moving in September. So I moved in this apartment on I got the key to this apartment on my birthday, October the 20th, on my birthday. So God is an all time, on time, anytime God. He don't move when you want him. He might not come when you call him, but he gonna be there. When that song said, "He may not come when you call him, but he'll be there right on time." God is a good God. He's an on time God. And every time we call God, he listens, he hears us, and he may not come because it's not saying that I'm too busy to come. No, God is never too busy. He's never too busy. See, but when God see something you don't see, and And he may just want you to wallow in that a little bit more. He may just want you to think about stuff a little bit longer. And he just may be preparing the way for you. He may be eliminating some people. He may be chipping some things away from you. You know, your attitude got to be right, your heart got to be right, your thought process got to be right. You got to be healthy enough to do this. You know, God looks take all of that in account. So for whatever it is that you prayed for, whatever it is that you're waiting for, don't give up. Just know when it's time, because a farmer will plant a seed. He will plant his crop for the season. He don't go out there every day checking to see if that crop is growing. He don't go out there every day to see if anything done sprouted, because he know the seed that he planted, he know it's going to take this seed about 3 to 4 weeks before it produce, before I see anything. He know. So he go on to something else. He plant that crop, then he move on to something else, because he know when it's time for that wheat, that corn, whatever, the collard greens, the tomatoes, the oranges. An orange tree could stand so tall and so beautiful and give you all the shade. And you know when it's time for the orange trees to start blossoming. My dad planted 2 orange trees and some of those Chinese apple trees in the yard. And I like gardenia. So a gardenia bush, like on the side of the house, there's a shrub with a row of gardenias. And in the front is the little cherries, that the little cherry bushes. So on one side of the house, there's orange trees, and then on one side of the house there's gardenia bushes, and you could tell when the orange trees are getting ready to produce, start the oranges start, because the orange blossoms will come out, and you could just open up the windows. Oh my God. And just in the house, and that fragrance would just come all through the house. And then on the other side of the house, if you open up the window, like we had the patio, and then there was a window in the kitchen, and on the side of the where I slept in the room where Verena and Jordan was, that's where the gardenia bushes was on that side. And you open up on that side and you could just smell the aroma. Then I knew it was almost time for something to be produced, because of the aroma from the gardenia bushes and the aroma from the orange blossom. Something is getting ready to be produced, and nothing happens until it's time for it to happen. And and if we just hold on, and if we just don't get in ahead of God, and if we don't give up, get tired, and even sometimes you could get weary, but in your weariness, still, still know God ain't said no. In your weariness, still do good, still be good, still don't complain. Because when it's just like having a baby. You get them little pains, and oh, they be hurting so bad. Oh my God, they be hurting so bad. The hardest pain comes when it's time for that baby, and the doctor say, okay, now push real hard, and that feel like every bone in your body is being broken when that baby is coming through that canal. Oh my God, feel like you can't breathe. I can't breathe no more. I can't. Doctor say, keep on pushing, you there, you almost there, and you forget about how painful it feels, because it's feeling painful now. All you try to do is just get what's at you, what's in you at you. As soon as that baby come at you, I'll seem like all that pain just stop. It don't really like stop, but you forget about all that pain and the 9 months you had to wait, and how sick you was, and your first trimester, and then your second trimester, how big you start getting, then your nose got way over here, and then you got black all around your neck, and then you're wobbling, you're weaving and wobbling when you walk, and your shoes, your feet all swole up, and everything you see you wanted to eat, and nothing fitted you no more. You forgot all about all that kind of stuff when that baby came. When that baby came. And that's just like it is like waiting for God. When we are waiting for God, it could be if we just sit there and say, okay, Lord, when is it gonna happen? When is it gonna happen? I'm just praying and praying and nothing ain't happening. Nothing ain't going on. God don't show us everything at one time. When it's time for God, when God done did what he gonna do, and now okay, the way for us has already been made. The way has already been made. Now, are you ready? Are you prepared for what it is that you prayed for? God done already made the way. Now God just preparing you for what you done prayed for. God is, and when I was getting this apartment, and then I said, well, I'm gonna need stuff to go in the apartment. So I had to prepare. I started buying pictures, I started buying stuff for the bathroom. I started with the bathroom first. I bought everything for the bathroom. I bought pictures for the bathroom, shower curtains, rugs, organizers, and all of that for the bathroom. So I'm preparing myself. So when I move in, I have stuff already ready when I move in, pots and plates and and stuff like that. So I had to be prepared. I had to be in the right mind frame to move in here because one, I'm afraid of bridges, going across that bridge every day. And then it just took me somewhere when I had to drive across that bridge every day and then seeing how traffic is over here a certain time of morning, a certain time of day, to get stuck right there in the middle part of that bridge, and how not to have anxiety going across the bridge. God was preparing me for that. And what I was afraid of, because I'm going to be living by myself, Lord. And yes, I could do anything I want to do in this apartment. I can smoke, I could drink, I could shoot up, I could do anything I wanted to do because nobody can come in here unless I buzz them up for them to come here. And so I was thinking, oh, I don't want to say Satan was playing havoc with my thoughts and stuff like that. I ain't smoked in over 30 years. I ain't shot up in over like maybe 40 years. So why is all this stuff coming back at me now? Because now you're going to be living by yourself. And you said when you move in your own place, you could do whatever you want, when you want. You could be how you want to be in your own house. And I said, yeah, I did say that, but I'm not talking about that kind of stuff. And this is a conversation that I was having out loud, with myself. And then I got frightened. I didn't tell nobody how scared I was about, because I had been evicted from places before. And Lord, can I do this? Can I really do this and not get evicted from this? Can I do this and don't ruin it by getting, smoking and doing all kind of stuff in the apartment when it say no smoking in the apartments or anything like? Can I honestly do this? And I feel like when God bless you with something, that's God saying, yeah, you could do it if you want to do it. You have a choice. This is something that you prayed for. I gave you what it is that you prayed for. And if you can't keep what I gave you, then you didn't, that the choices that you made would determine if you stay here or not. I've been living in this apartment ever since these apartments came up. So that's about 4 years. I've been living here about 4 years. I've been living here about 4 years. And I think about it every now and then, but I give thanks to God every day that I wake up and I just look around and I say, you know what? Every month I pay my rent. This is my place. I pay my rent on time every month. And I thank God for the grace and the mercy. And I thank God for being an overcomer. So, whatever it is that you're praying God for, whatever it is that you're hoping for, you ain't got to beg. We don't have to beg God for nothing. We don't have to plead our case to God about, Lord, if you do this, we don't have to bargain with God. Well, Lord, if you do this, I stop doing this or I start doing it. Because see, God know what you're going to do. He know your thoughts before you even formulate them to be a thought. He know what you're thinking. God already know what you're thinking. God already know what it is that you're going to do. You just don't know what it is that you're going to do at any given moment. You don't know what it is that you're going to do. So whatever it is that you're waiting for, whatever it is that you're waiting for, hang on. Because if it don't come today, surely tomorrow could be that day. But we're not going to worry about tomorrow. And if it don't come today, we're going to live. We're still going to live a life of hope, not a life of not unsureness. We surely God is going to do what God says he's going to do. And because if God don't do what he has promised in the what all those promises God made in the 39:27, 39 books in the Old Testament, 27 in the New Testament. And God, if God don't do what he promised to do, then that make God to be a liar. That make God to be a liar. That make God be no better than man. That make God not be a supreme being. That make God not be the holy one. That makes God cease to be God. Cease to be God. And even when we're praying and we don't get what it is that we pray to God for, that don't mean God is a liar. That don't mean God said no. God is protecting you from something. God is protecting you from a hell of a bill, heartache. He protecting you from being hoodwinked and swindled. When God, you pray for some things and God began to illuminate you with things. God began to, you see things began to happen when you say, Lord, I'm so glad you didn't give me that. I'm so glad I ain't go with that ninja. God, I'm so glad I did not go on that trip. I'm so glad, and God, you'll know because God will start letting you see things, and then you'll start feeling things. All you got to do, the way you pray to God and ask God for things, ask God to show you. Ask God, and I do it all the time. I say, Lord, show me who's for me and who's not for me. I say, show me who's for me and who's not for me. And the moment I ask God to show me who is for me, and then sometimes the people who for me are the people who I would least think would be the people that's for me. And then I'll see it. Then I said, and then the people I'm thinking is for me because recently God showed me that. Recently, God showed me the people that was not for. Showed me this person plain as day. Showed me this person as plain as day. Don't treat her no different. Don't treat her no different. However, I know, like the old people say, like my grandma and my great grandma and my great grandma say, sometimes you got to feed people out a long handle spoon. And when I was a young girl, I did not understand that. I did not understand that. It ain't nothing wrong with being cordial, but the things that you used to do, know how you feel, how this person feel, the things that you used to do, you just don't do them no more. You just, girl, you don't call me no more. Girl, the phone work both ways. And you don't call me. So apparently you don't have nothing to talk about. I ain't got nothing to talk about. So we ain't calling each other. You know what I'm saying? So girl, what's been going on with you? Easy breezy. Ain't nothing been going on with me, girl. What about you? What about you, girl? What's been going on? And when you start talking to God, I mean, praying, it say pray without ceasing. No, you can't go around always praying, but every now and then you can have a little quick conversation with God, and God will shine the light on some things for you. But you gotta wait. You gotta be still. You gotta patiently wait. Because in Psalms 27, verse 14, it says, be of good courage and wait on the Lord. Again, I say, wait. Again, I say, wait. He emphasized that thing. It's nothing wrong with waiting on God. Because see, God can move as fast as he wants. God can move faster than light. God is faster than light. God can move so fast. He can move faster than faster than faster than fast. Then God can move whenever he wants to. He can make it happen just like that, or he could stretch that thing out to a year, 3 years, 5 years. And sometimes you be done forgot what you're about to pray for, and then here it comes. Oh, this is the thing I prayed for 5 years ago. You could have been, Lord, I want me a house, I want me a yard for my children and for my grandchildren. I want this and this and this and this. And God be preparing you. You done prayed about it so much and so often that you done forgot about it, but it's still in the back of your mind. I want a house with a big yard in a nice community. Don't really have to worry about too much and nothing. And then all of a sudden, you done tried and tried and tried on your own, and it failed. And then you say, you know what, I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna wait on God. And the moment you decide to wait on God, the moment you decide to put yourself behind, like we want God to follow us. No, when you start following God and the instructions of God and being obedient as you possibly can to God, and just being the best version of yourself, and God see all of this, and you say, you know what, Lord, I'm gonna be. You don't even need no co-pilot. I'm just gonna be a passenger on this plane, and you just take me wherever it is that you want me to go. Because God said, I know the plans that I have for you, plans to prosper you, to give you hope. So God is not going to give us something. If God is the Father and God owns all of this, and I'm a child of God, do you think God is going to give one of his children any old thing? God is going to give me the best. So I'm going to wait for God to give me that best. And I'm going to learn how to wait patiently for it. Y'all see how freely I'm talking about patience now? Because God has had the I had to be patient with a lot of things. And right now I'm going through a situation. I want me a car. I need me a car. Don't seem like the money, it's not coming. The money is coming, but it come once a month, that sort of thing. And it ain't no telling how long it's gonna take me to get this in my finite, infinite in my finite mind. It might take me a long time, but God's mind is not like mine. God could do what he want to do, and when he get ready to do it. And the little bit of money I got, saved up, and the money that's gonna be saved up, who knows what kind of God is out there got for me. Just want to see, okay, how bad do you want this car? And are you going to do the things that you said you was going to do to obtain this car? Are you going to save that money and don't mess with that money? Are you going to do that? I want to see, because if I can't trust you with this, how can I trust you with something greater than what it is that you're asking me for? How can I trust you with that? So you know what I'm doing? I forget that the money I have I have some money. So yesterday I have a jar that I just throw change in at the end of the month. And every month I just go in there and to see how much I could just roll up. So yesterday I was just playing around. So I rolled up some quarters, I rolled up some nickels, and I rolled up some dimes. So I put that in the jar. I put all that money in the jar. And then every now and then I might have a $5 bill and maybe 6 ones in my wallet. And I forget that, I even have cash money in my wallet sometimes. I go in the store and I say, oh, I got dollars. It might not be a lot of dollars, but I got dollars, because I want God to see that I am faithful in what I'm saying. Because I want, not only do I need a car, I want a car. So I want God to see that he can trust me, somewhat trust me. I did go in the little jar and get money out for Jordan for a graduation gift. So, but I didn't get all the money, and I keep thinking, I could go to Ulta and I could buy all the product I need out of Ulta, and I seen this girl at graduation, and she had these jeans on, and she got them from Fashion Nova. I could order me some jeans from Fashion Nova. I can order me something from Shein. I could go order me something from X Plus Wear. I'm just saying I could order all this stuff. And that's showing God I don't really, I can't really hold on to nothing. That's showing God that I'm just all talk. Because when I get a little bit of money, I go out and spend it. That's just like when I was out there doing drugs and stuff like that. Soon as I got paid, baby, it was in one hand and out the next hand because I'm finna get something to beam me up, Scotty. And even when I was out there in that world selling drugs, I did just, you know, getting the fast money. That show money, it's not good money. Yo, you make it fast and you gonna spend it fast. Couldn't hold on. It was just like water, pouring water in my hand. It was just like pouring water in my hand. However, when I came to myself and I got a full understanding of who God is and the way God works and the way God do things, now I understand when I was saying, Lord, sitting on the toilet getting high, saying, Lord, I sure don't want to get high no more, but I'm still smoking. I'm still beaming up. Ooh, and then when God said, okay, you know what? I'm sick and tired of you. I'm sick and tired of you smoking now. I'm sick and tired of you smoking now. And God, and I said, Lord, and one time I prayed, I said, Lord, please just take the taste out my mouth. Please take the taste out my mouth. And when I asked God to take the taste out my mouth, all the fear I had of being alone, saying, Lord, you know, I'm here. I don't want to, I'm scared I might do this. And I'm gonna be real honest with y'all. Not one time when I walked through this door, I got afraid, and that fear stayed with me for a while because I didn't trust myself. I did not trust myself because I was safe when I was with my mom and my children, my granddaughter and my daughter. I was safe. I was safe. But when I got in a place of my own, I was so scared. I was so scared. It would be some nights I would be bald before I got my bed, and I would be like in a corner, like balled up because I was so fearful, not fearful of living here by myself, but fearful that I would go and searching for crack, that I would start smoking crack and I would lose my apartment, all these fears. And, I would leave the kitchen light over the stove, I would leave that on. Just fearful, just fearful. And then it was one Sunday, we was in Sunday school and we were talking about the fruits of the spirit. And one of those fruits was not fear. Say God didn't give us no spirit of fear. So why am I being so fearful? I'm allowing doubt and fear to cloud my mind and to cloud my judgment. And I began to take God's word that I'll never leave you nor forsake you. I see you balled up in that corner. I see you laying on that blow up mattress. I see you. I know the thoughts that you got. I didn't give you those thoughts. I didn't even give you that spirit of what you're feeling right now. That's not coming from me. So you're going to have a choice. Either you're going to make it, not to show somebody that you could do it. If you want to show somebody that you could do something, show yourself that you could do this. Show yourself that you can live in this apartment and be happy and be joyous and don't be fearful of nothing. Because I will never leave you, nor would I forsake you. Why would I bring you to the front door and let you walk in and then to snatch it away from you? And you cry, Lord, Lord, and you talk about hallelujah, praise the Lord, and you doing all that shouting in church. Are you for real? Are you playing with me? And when that conversation was had between me and God, baby, I start worshiping God in spirit and in truth. Yes, sometimes I fall short. But I don't lay down there in it and I don't wallow in it. I get up and I do it to the best of my ability. And I wait patient. And I'm learning, y'all, how to be patient now. I'm learning how not to be afraid to say the word patience. I'm not praying, and I still ain't asking God for no patience. I ain't asking God for no patience. Lord, just give me the patience. Nah, I ain't saying that in just. I ain't saying it to be funny. I ain't saying it to be cute. Because when you say something to God, God, He got a sense of humor. But you keep playing with God if you want to. And God will get tired of you playing with it. Then He'll put you in a position to where you're going to have faith. You're going to have not only faith, but you're going to have patience as well. You're going to have faith and patience. So whatever it is that you pray to God for, don't give up. And see, God let things happen. I was thinking about it yesterday, and I said, you know what, Lord, I said, this will be good, something good to talk about. I said, because now Jordan is getting ready to leave to go to college. She'll be going next month to orientation, right? So she's going to have to live on campus for these days that they are having the orientation. And I told her, and I said, you know what? Usually when they have orientation early like this, the children the student have to stay on campus. She said, oh, I don't think it's like that. She said, but something just told me yesterday that just go and check. And she said I had to change the our flights and all of that because she do have to stay on campus, and I'm gonna stay in a hotel. I say, well, I thought as much. She said, well, I didn't know. I said, and just to keep an argument down, I said, she said, well, I didn't know, and I didn't want to say, well, I had already told you that. I didn't want to do that, because when people think they know, and it just eliminates a lot of problems. You know what I'm saying? It just eliminates a lot of problems. So I'm learning how y'all. I am learning how to let my yes be yes, my no be no, and to stand on what I stand on. And what I don't know, I don't speak on. So therefore, it don't be no art, don't be no backwards and forward. I don't speak on it. But I'm learning to not only not speak on what I don't know, but to speak up on what it is that I do know, to speak up on what it is that I do know, and not to accept something just because somebody said it. I just supposed to accept it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm learning how not only to trust God, I'm learning how to trust Him and my faith. And I said, Lord, just increase my faith. And I remember praying and asked God, Lord, just increase my faith in you, Father God. Increase my trust. I believe that you can do any and everything, but I just need to trust you a little bit more. I need for my faith to be a little bit stronger. And just Lord, just put me in a realm, put me in a place that it is that you would want me to be. And Father, and if you could just show me as I walk through this, and then you know, and and I can feel it sometimes. God has me um has a shield of protection around me, that He'll let me see things and I don't understand what it is that I'm seeing at that moment. And then I get a phone call from somebody, and they say, well, and I said, I said, I saw that, but I didn't know what was going on. And it was the same thing. I get a phone call from a friend. She said, did you see what I was talking about? I said, yeah, I saw it. But then I had to go back and rewatch it. And when I went back and rewatched it, I saw everything that she was talking about, but God had already put in my heart. You know, people, when I tell you people are watching you, people watching you. It's not because they plotting and they scheming. They want to know how you get through what you're getting through with what's going on with you. Your world could be falling apart, but you still got that peace. You still got that joy. You still got that happiness. And they don't understand why you ain't falling apart. People are watching that. And what you possess, the goodness that you possess, people want some of that. People want to know how can they obtain that. And the very people that you think are against you, no, no, not all of them, not all of them. They just don't know how to approach you. They don't know how to take you because they know you full of God, and they know that if they doing it, there are some people that just not to mess with. Because if you do something to them and they start praying for you and praying that prayer of conviction on you, they know God gonna move. They know God gonna do something. That's why I say wait and wait patiently on the Lord. And God ain't gonna never tell you no. And if he tell you no, it's for your benefit because he got something better. He gonna say wait. And in that moment of waiting, in the meantime and between time while you're waiting, God is preparing you for that thing that you waited for, that you prayed for. God is preparing somebody right now for their house, for that promotion on the job. God is preparing you for, preparing somebody you may know who want to have a baby and they haven't had that baby yet. They keep praying for that baby. God is preparing that lady for that baby and preparing that baby for that lady. It's coming. It's coming. Whatever you have prayed and asked God for inside of his will be done. Whatever you ask God for, and then you say, Lord, if it is your will, if it's in your will, it will be. It will be. Now, when it's going to be, I can't tell you. Only God got the answer to that. But I tell you right now, keep on bending them corners, keep on bending them knees, keep just doing what you're doing. And one morning you're gonna wake up and your blessing gonna slap you in the face. They say when my cup runneth over, you're gonna have so many blessings. All them blessings that you done prayed and asked God for, you're gonna get so many blessings that you are not going to have room enough to receive. And in my cup, when you put your a coffee cup, the little set that come with the saucer, and you put and you pour it in it and it run over and it spills out on that little saucer, just throw them blessings, get them blessings to someone else. And the more you bless others, God gonna bless you just as more, just as much. So patiently wait on God and be of good courage and wait with the sureness that what I've asked for, I know God gonna give it to me. I want a car. I need a car. And if it's his will, the car that I want, God already got that car prepared for me. But there's something that I got to patiently wait and I gotta save up some money. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? Only God knows what's in store for me. I don't even know what's in store. Somebody could bless me. God could be preparing somebody hard right now to bless me. I could get a phone call, I could get an email, I could get a text. Girl, what you got Zelle? Girl, you got Cash App. What's your Cash App? That could bless me. So I'm waiting patiently of the Lord, and I'm being of good courage, and I'm waiting. I'm just waiting. But while I'm waiting, it's not like I'm not doing something in my waiting. God say move, I move. I'm reading God's word. I'm listening to God's word. I'm being obedient as I possibly can. And I'm being as patient as I possibly can. Do I get weary? Do I get tired? Of course, but I'm never going to give out. And if I give out, I'm going to take a little rest. I'm going to take a moment to rest, to rejuvenate myself, to refresh myself, to revive myself. And then I'm gonna go on a little bit. One thing I'm not gonna do is that's give up and not trust God. Even when it looked like God ain't doing nothing, God is up to something. God always up to something. God is always up to something. So that's just my word from you from me to you. That's the word for the day. Patiently wait on whatever it is that you done ask God for. Sarge in charge, I'm glad you're here. And just like AKA say, you guys have a great day. Smile. You have a beautiful smile. And have a great day on purpose. Purposely have a good day. Sarge in charge, I'm so happy to see you this morning. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad that you're here this morning. I thank you for being part of this village. I'm grateful that you're part of this village. I think every Shirley, I thank you is as well. I thank you for being here as well. I thank you for being here. And Sean, I thank you for being here this morning. And for the people that's listening that did not, drop down and say good morning. I'm just in the bushes. I pray that God bless you that God bless you in a mighty, mighty way, and all the things that you prayed for and all the things that you are waiting for, that God gives you the desires of your heart, and that you just be so prosperous in everything that you do, and everything that you say comes into fruition. And I appreciate you being here as well. I thank you for hitting the like button, and I thank you for hitting that subscribers button if you're not a subscriber. And if you just don't want to subscribe or just want to be here, I appreciate that as well. So I appreciate everybody for just being here today, and go out and have a good day. Have a blessed day and be a blessing to someone, and go out and just be encouraged today. And by you being encouraged, encourage someone else, and then go out loving them, because the love you give out, that's the love that you will receive back. Be loved and be loving as well. So that's all. That's it. That's all. Peace out, deuces, and I'll holler. And when I holler, holler back. And if you see me in these streets, holler at me. And if I see you first and then I'll holler. Then you holler back. All right. I needed this, even though I know. Well, sometimes we know, but sometimes we just need a refresher course. That's all. We just need somebody else to reiterate. That's all, Sarge in charge. That's all. That's it. That's all. I'm out for real, y'all. Bye, and I'll holler. Holla!